Well, hello and welcome once again to the DCL Podcast, where we're inviting you to sit back, relax, and we'll be on our way shortly.
Well, welcome back to the DCL Podcast, your podcast to cruise a little smarter. I'm your host, Lake, and I am joined by my co-host, Christy. Christy, how are we today?
Hi, I'm well. How are you?
Doing pretty good. We have just a quick little mini-sode or bonus episode because Disney Cruise Line just uploaded all of their information on the inaugural season for the Disney Destiny.
We should have all known it was coming today because bookings begin on Friday, and yet I was not prepared for it. And then the text chains started while I was on my run this morning. Yeah, it all was just starting to come in.
Yeah, so we will obviously talk about the inaugural sailing, but we'll break down some of your other options. But as was already stated, this is mostly 4 and 5 night sailings and lots of, I don't want to call it a double dip, but it's a one of each island type of thing. And that's like a good majority of the cruises. And then lots of cruises with a good amount of sea days, like 2 or 3 sea days in there as well, which is pretty cool. So why don't we go ahead? Like I said, we will start with the big one, the Disney Destiny maiden voyage 4-night sailing. This does a stop at Lookout as well as a stop at Castaway. And overall, I mean, yes, this is Disney Cruise Line pricing, but I think these could have been much worse.
Yeah, I was surprised. They are completely in the Disney Cruise Line range, like within an acceptable amount. These are not like breaking your bank prices. And so I think, we hate to say it's accessible because it's still expensive, but it's just a lot more reasonable. Like the starting veranda prices for 2 on the maiden voyage, which is November 20th, 2025, is $4,302. Now, remember, these are going to be like the Navigator's veranda and things like that, and their starting prices. So as people book, the prices will go up. But $4,300 for an inaugural just doesn't seem, it's not eye-opening. Frankly, $9,000 in concierge, again, that these are not like heart attack inducing amounts of money to me. Kind of exciting.
Yeah, and for a 4-night sailing like this, you can get as low as $35.98 for the inside, which, the cabins aren't going to be that much different than the Treasure or the Wish. Like, that's not the draw. The draw for this ship is really the theming of the spaces.
Right. You're not going to be spending all the time in the cabin.
Yeah, and even Ocean View at $37.82, that would probably be the stateroom that I would be most drawn to there. But then the next sailing is a 4-night right after that. I was going to say the inaugural is November 20th to the 24th.
Yes. And then the 24th to the 28th is the next sailing, which, as Lake said, it was the 4-night. And that one is the Thanksgiving sailing. At least I'll say in terms of the holidays, any holiday sailing, this one is going to price the best. So if there was somebody that was looking to take their kids and didn't want to take them out of school, or you had a job that you can't miss during, you can't go during the off season, right? This was the least expensive holiday sailing in the bunch. And this one goes where, Lake? Yeah,
so this is actually the same style of itinerary. You have Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point and then Castaway Key as well. Those prices are actually very, very similar to that inaugural sailing as well. Just, in some cases, actually even a little bit more.
Well, because it's a holiday sailing.
Yeah, but still for the inaugural. And I think these 2 sailings here, a lot of people are going to be looking at doing a back-to-back potentially, which would definitely be pretty cool because you're getting quite a bit of sea day action in there with that. And it's all private island.
They're Disney destinations or whatever we're calling them these days. So then it looks like there's a gap in the schedule, which is more than likely where the DVC cruise will be. And that hasn't been announced yet. And usually it's announced like a day or 2 later. You have to typically use points for one person if you are booking that. It is not a member cruise, so there's not the gifts every day. So that is just one, though, that members can cruise. And people seem to like it for the camaraderie. Somebody has to be a member to book that cruise.
We should probably hear information from that pretty soon as well. Yep. But then moving on to these other sailings, we won't go down day by day, but it's 4 and 5 night sailings. There is a pretty cool 4-night one-off on December 7th to the 11th that only does 1 day in Castaway. So you're getting, was that 2 sea days out of that, which is kind of neat. And then you do have your 5 nights only do 2 stops. So again, you're getting at least those 2 full sea days. You've got Cozumel and Castaway is a pretty popular sailing for this. And then the other 5-night option is Nassau and Lookout, as well as there are plenty of Castaway Lookout combos as well.
Yes. And there's a Castaway Lookout combo 5-night for your New Year's Eve cruise. And then the Christmas sailing as well is a combo Lookout, Castaway, 5-night. They're all from Fort Lauderdale, but you know what I mean.
Admittedly, a lot less Nassau than I expected.
So much less Nassau. I was like literally just making that leap in my head. I love that. Give people the sea day. I mean, I understand there's agreements, blah, blah, blah. There's some reason why we're going to Nassau so many times, right? I love that there are so many options without it so that people can have time on the ship. And, you know, there is a different feel for sure when the ship is literally moving. You have the ocean air. You can like be outside maybe a little bit more than when we're at a port stop, even if you're making that a sea day. Definitely
some fun sailings here. Lots of double sea days, which I don't think we've really seen a whole lot of out of the newer ships. I mean, the Treasure taking over the obviously longer sailings has it. Getting 2 sea days out of 4 or 5-night sailings is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Even like some of the 4-night starting prices as low as, you know, $2,200 for inside really isn't bad.
Not bad at all. Obviously, those it's more convenient for people that can go, like we said earlier, that don't have maybe the quote unquote school schedule to look out for. Yeah, these aren't bad. Definitely something to take advantage of. And if you were a person that wanted to try concierge on the Wish because they have that dreamy concierge lounge, this is going to be that same level where they have the galley and the huge lounge. And if you can do one of the off week times or not a time when kids are off school, the price it's like a decent lead in price.
Again, definitely some cool little sailings. The off season, kind of that early winterish before spring break, has some decent pricing. Again, we are still talking about Disney Cruise Line pricing. It is all fairly expensive. It's a heavy check to write.
Right.
But comparatively, you know, not too terrible. Definitely something to consider, especially if you are excited for the ship and its very unique themings here.
Let's also just talk and do a quick, so we'll get into booking dates in 1 second. Let's just do I'm going to do a quick like mini recap of some of the different cool features of this ship. Well, Disney describes it like Disney, Pixar, and Marvel heroes and villains and they meet at sea and like what's going to happen. I think that's there's a ton of people that this is what they're hoping for. My understanding is Disney wanted non-cruisers to see these offerings and get excited about this ship. And then there is the Lion King restaurant. Again, I'm just making up my own name for it, but that is super exciting. And then Hercules is going to be playing in the theater. And then they have the 101 Dalmatians plus the Haunted Mansion parlors coming back. And then they have like the Pirates Life at Sea bar, Pirates of the Caribbean bar. So I just think there's a lot of like cool different elements of this ship that will make it unique. But you can start booking it as early as Friday for September 6th for your Pearl Castaway Club members. It starts on Monday, September 9th. So next Monday for Platinum, Golden Oak, and Club 33 members. Tuesday, the 10th, is Gold Castaway Club members, plus Disney Vacation Club and Adventure Insiders. If you are DVC or you're an ABD Adventure Insider, these are so many tongue twisters, and you are booking with a travel agent, make sure your travel agent knows what your insider numbers, well, I don't think Adventure Insiders really has a number, but just that you've done it before, and or your Disney Vacation Club member number, because they will confirm that with the cruise line when they go to make your booking on Tuesday. And then Silver Castaway Club members is Wednesday, and Thursday it opens to the public if you've never taken a Disney Cruise Line cruise before.
And also a note for those looking to book the Maiden, there is a 20% non-refundable deposit that you have to make on that. So if you are planning to book the Maiden, you need to be very certain that you want to sail on that, or you could be potentially losing 20% of that cruise fare. And then final payment for that is due 100 days prior for suites and concierge and 90 days for regular staterooms.
Yeah, perfect. Bookings always begin on the phones at 8 a.m. If you're working with a travel agent, you know, a lot of them will start looking even before to see what's available to start booking online. And then as a note for anybody not working with a travel agent, I am a travel agent, which we don't talk about too often, but I can assist you with booking your next Disney cruise. There's no additional cost to you. I give tips that even my most seasoned Disney Cruise Line guests didn't even know existed. Can help pick the cabin. We can make it super simple, and I could be ready to book before you've even woken up potentially on those days. So definitely reach out if you are interested in using my services. I was just gonna say, Christy@packyourpixiedust.com is my email, and you can find all my contact information at packyourpixiedust.com.
Yeah, these big releases can get a little bit messy sometimes, so let Christy do it.
Yeah.
Way easier for you, I promise. But I think that is about all we have to talk about. Like I said, this was just a quick little overview of the Destiny sailings. Do you have anything else to add?
I don't think so. I think that Disney made it, so I always say I don't think so, and then I have something to say. But I think Disney made it a little bit more accessible in terms of the way they laid out the schedule. I am intrigued. I like those extra sea days. And I know I wasn't originally super excited about, I mean, Marvel's not my thing, right? We all know this. I don't participate in Marvel, but I do love a shiny new ship. I like the idea of new shows. And so for me, I might have to book something now.
Yeah, I am definitely intrigued by quite a few of these sailings. Even the inaugural would be pretty cool for this one. I have never done an inaugural sailing on any ship.
Do the inaugural so you can report back for us. Be the roving reporter.
Will consider. But I think that is going to take us out. Like I said, this is just a little quick mini episode. This I will actually get posted up today, and then we'll still have a full episode probably launching on Thursday for those of you who need some more DCL podcast content.
Yes, we should have my trip report that we did a dual show with listener Amy because she was on the same ship the previous cruise. So we discussed, you know, going to Lighthouse from both of our viewpoints again. Obviously, my repeat and her sailing as the first time. So yeah, tune in Thursday.
Yeah, lots of great information and updates about Lighthouse Point that came out of that episode. I just finished editing it. But that is going to do it for this episode. Thank you all so much for listening. If you are planning on booking the Destiny, let us know what sailing, and we'll see you next time on the DCL Podcast. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
The DCL Podcast is not affiliated with the Disney Cruise Line, Walt Disney Company, Adventures by Disney, or Run Disney. All of the opinions expressed on our shows are those of the hosts and the guests who appear on the show. If you have any questions about any of these products, please contact the Walt Disney Company.